Sahih al-Bukhari 1341, narrated Aisha. When the Prophet became ill, some of his wives talked about a church which they had seen in Ethiopia, and it was called Maria. Salma and Abiba had been to Ethiopia, and both of them narrated it's the church's beauty and the pictures it contained. The Prophet raised his head and said, "Those are the people who, whenever a pious man dies amongst them, make a place of worship at his grave, and then they make those pictures in it. Those are the worst creatures in the sight of Allah." Sahih al-Bukhari 1342, narrated Anas. We were in the funeral procession of the daughter of Allah's Messenger, and Allah's Messenger was sitting near the grave, and I saw his eyes full of tears. He said, "Is there anyone amongst you who did not have sexual relations with his wife last night?" Abu Talha replied in the affirmative, and so Allah's apostle told him to get down in her grave, and he got down in her grave and buried her. Sahih al-Bukhari 1343, narrated Jabir bin Abdullah. The Prophet collected every 2 martyrs of Uhud in one piece of cloth. Then he would ask, which of them had knew more of the Quran? When one of them was pointed out for him, he would put that one first in the grave and say, "I will be a witness on these on the day of resurrection." He ordered them to be buried with their blood on their bodies, and they were neither washed nor was a funeral prayer offered for them. Sahih al-Bukhari 1344, narrated Uqba bin Amir. One day the Prophet went out and offered the funeral prayers of the martyrs of Uhud, and then went up the pulpit and said, "I will pave the way for you as your predecessor and will be a witness on you. By Allah, I see my fount Kauthar just now, and I have been given the keys of all the treasures of the earth, or the keys of the earth. By Allah, I am not afraid that you will worship others along with Allah after my death, but I am afraid that you will fight with one another for the worldly things." Sahih al-Bukhari 1345, narrated Jabir bin Abdullah. The Prophet buried every 2 martyrs in of Uhud in one grave. Sahih al-Bukhari 1346, narrated Jabir. The Prophet said, "Bury them, I martyrs, with their blood." That was on the day of the battle of Uhud. He did not get them washed. Sahih al-Bukhari 1347, narrated Jabir bin Abdullah. Allah's Messenger shrouded every 2 martyrs of Uhud in one piece of cloth, and then he would ask, which of them knew more Quran? When one of them was pointed out, he would put him first in the grave. He said, "I am a witness on these." Then he ordered them to be buried with blood on their bodies. Neither did he offer their funeral prayer, nor did he get them washed. Jabir bin Abdullah added, Allah's Messenger used to ask about the martyrs of Uhud as to which of them knew more of the Quran. And when one of them was pointed out as having more of it, he would put him first in the grave and then his companions. Jabir added, "My father and my uncle were shrouded in one sheet." Sahih al-Bukhari 1349, narrated Ibn Abbas. The Prophet said, "Allah has made Mecca a sanctuary, sacred place, and it was a sanctuary before me and will be so after me. It was made legal for me to fight in it for a few hours of the day. None is allowed to uproot its thorny shrubs, or to cut its trees, or to chase its game, or to pick up its fallen things, except by a person who announces it publicly." On that, Al-Abbas said to the Prophet, "Except al-Idkir for our goldsmiths and for our graves." And so the Prophet added, "Except al-Idkir." And Abu Huraira narrated that the Prophet said, "Except al-Idkir for our graves and houses." And Ibn Abbas said, "For their goldsmiths and houses." Sahih al-Bukhari 1350. Narrated Jabir bin Abdullah. Allah's messenger came to Abdullah bin Ubay, a hypocrite, after his death, and he has been laid in his pit grave. He ordered that he be taken out of the grave, and he was taken out. Then he placed him on his knees and threw some of his saliva on him and clothed him in the Prophet's own shirt. Allah knows better why he did so. Abdullah bin Ubay had given his shirt to Al-Abbas to wear. Abu Harun said Allah's messenger at that time had 2 shirts. And the son of Abdullah bin Ubay said to him, "O Allah's messenger, clothe my father in your shirt which has been in contact with your skin." Sufyan added, "Thus people think that the Prophet clothed Abdullah bin Tubal in his shirt in lieu of what he Abdullah had done for Al-Abbas, the Prophet's uncle." Thanks for watching Hadees. Like and subscribe my channel for more Hadees videos.